Hello, Omar. Walid.
Walid, Mr. X.
Walid al-Maqduni.
Second round. And the bell.
High-speed A high-speed round, because you want to leave.
Walid last time told me I didn't give him much chance to explain himself.
I don't have much chance today either, because we're...
No, you have. I'm gonna give you
Okay,
time
2 minutes.
to. No, you talk double my time. Yes,
Okay.
because Walid is studying Arabic and specialized in Islamic Arabic, and we trying to clear some misconception to him. So people, please, whoever make a comment, don't be harsh on him, because when sincere people try to search the truth, you don't treat them like naughty or ugly or rude people. At least he's not rude, at least he's not nasty, and let's see what we're gonna. He said he brought some verses. Let's see.
Yeah. But Omar, first of all, I don't study Arabic. I teach and translate and research Arabic and Islamic texts.
Introduce yourself. I'm sorry,
So
I take out my introduction.
My name is Walid al-Maqduni. That's my Arabic nickname. I'm from Macedonia in northern Greece.
Can't hear you, bro.
I'm from Macedonia in northern Greece, but I've been here since I was since early childhood. I teach and translate and research Arabic and Islamic texts. I'm doing a PhD on Islamic political thought in the Mamluk and Ottoman era, I am very concerned with extremism of all forms, Islamic and non-Islamic, in the southern Balkans and in the Caucasus, as well as here in the West. My point in discussing with Omar is to advocate for even whether or not you accept the authenticity of the Quran as the revelation of God. My point is that the Quran itself can be used to advocate for different varieties of Islam and different interpretations. So there is not just one true Islam, even according to the Muslim texts, the Quran and the Hadith. But of course, we don't have much time to go into all the various Hadith that can support the different interpretations. So we'll just stick with the Quran. There's one verse in particular I wanted to look at, which supports this view. Omar is feeding. Uncle Omar is feeding the birds.
I'm listening. But I'm making use of my time, I listen,
yes,
and I do good deeds as well.
Yes.
This is good deed when you feed the creation of the Almighty.
Yes, absolutely. So,
but honestly, I'm concentrating and I'm listening and I'm preparing the answer as well.
So what do you? Okay. So first on the theological argument, which is independent of the Quran verse, which I'm going to read, is that the point that can be made that if Allah exists, and if the Quran is the final revelation of Allah and the Quran have to take account of different abilities, different cultures, different languages. And these different abilities, cultures and languages are by their very nature receptive to different interpretations of any religious text. So Allah himself has to take account of, in the revelation, he has to take account of the reality that different sects, different interpretations of Islam are at the very nature of the diversity of human characteristics, cultural, intellectual, and linguistic. So the verse I have selected is from Surah Al-A'raf. Omar, shall I read the verse?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm listening to you, man, honestly.
Okay.
I'm concentrating at the same time, trying to, because you have
Okay. So the verse goes, it's from Surah Al-A'raf. Towards it's the last verse of the surah. وَهُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَكُمْ خَلَائِفَ الْأَرْضِ وَرَفَعَ بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم إن آتاكم إن ربك سريع العقاب وإنه لغفور رحيم. So, I mean, the translation here is given, so I don't need to think up one myself. And it is He who has made you generations coming after generations, replacing each other on the earth. That's khala'if al-ard. And He has raised you in ranks, some above others, that He may try you in that which He has bestowed on you. Surely your Lord is swift in retribution. Certainly He is oft forgiving, most merciful. Because I'm from the Turkish-speaking world, the Islam where I'm from is Turkish. So I'll read it. I'll read the Turkish translation for my Turkish brothers in northern Greece. Ve sizi, yani Türkçe bu ayeti Türkçe okuyorum. Ve sizi nesiller halinde birbirinizin yerine getiren O'dur. Size verdiği şeylerde sizi sınamak için bazılarınızı derecelerle diğerlerinin üzerinde yükselten O'dur. Muhakkak Rabbin hesap görmede çabuktur ve şüphesiz O çok bağışlayıcıdır, çok merhametlidir. So, that verse obviously reinforces the idea that humans are have different abilities. There are other verses which point to the different languages and colors and ethnic groups people belong to. So that supports the general argument that Islam, by its very nature, at its very root, has to be accepting of different interpretations, different sects, different schools of thought within its own community, as well as has to be accepting of differences of religions and religious interpretations amongst other communities. So, Omar.
Thank you very much for this introduction. And I would like to ask a few questions. Is this conclusion?
Yes.
Personal conclusion or legitimate study with people who have the knowledge? Because you said, there's a book called Gharaib al-Quran.
Gharaib. Gharaib al-Quran. What's that?
The strange words.
The strange words and passages in the Quran. Absolutely.
The Arabs doesn't know it.
Yes.
And with all respect to you, very few people, even the Arabs,
okay,
normal nowadays Arabs are not so in command of the Arab anyway.
But were there any Gharaib al-Quran in this ayah? I don't think so.
No. This is another question will come.
This ayah had very straightforward
Listen.
Very
I am
straightforward
so
Arabic.
upset because when you said, if Allah exists,
Yes, because I'm
do
saying.
you have a doubt in the existence of Allah?
My point is, whether or not you believe in the existence of Allah,
No.
whether or not you believe, it's irrelevant to this topic.
You said
It's irrelevant to this topic.
Why?
Because as I said,
Because if you are a kafir,
yes,
there is a barrier between you and the Quran to understand. وَجَعَلْنَا عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ أَكِنَّةً يَفْقَهُونَ. Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah said, I'll make a barrier on the heart. Your mirror cannot, like you are like Ontarioists, the South people and the Cambridge, they study Arabic language for 100 years and they cannot get the light of guidance. I, in front of Allah the Almighty,
yes,
give you offer. Or I take you holiday. Yes? To the North Sea.
no, shukran.
And I'm gonna rock the boat. I'm gonna rock the ship.
No, لا أريد.
I'm gonna rock it.
No.
Full paid. Wallahi, full paid. And I'm gonna rock the ship. And I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna record. What is the first word you're gonna say?
Ya Allah. Allah.
Allah. This is verse in Quran. Why? Because Allah implant in you when you was nothing. Implant you confess. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِهِمْ. Allah testify your soul ألست بربكم قالوا بلى. You, when you are nothing, testify that Allah exists and He is the Almighty. Number two, so I'm very upset when not upset because this is your choice. When you read this Quran, if you know this verse in Quran, وَيَزِيدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا. Quran, if you want guidance, Allah increase your guidance. If you want dalal, وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِمْ عَمَى. Quran is a disease, can get you blindness in your heart. If you read Quran with a bad intention, Allah increase your misguidance.
I don't think I have any bad intention.
Why didn't see the light in Quran?
Why didn't see that? But this doesn't answer the question, Omar.
I'm going to answer the question now.
Answer the question.
Now we're coming to answer the question.
My point is valid.
He said
in the Quran.
There is different Islam. Is it true? No. وَإِنَّ إِلَهَكُمْ لَوَاحِدٌ. When Allah is one, cannot have 5, 6 Islam. When Allah said, إِنَّ الدِّينَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ الْإِسْلَامِ, religion to Allah is Islam, He didn't say, I have Christianity and Musaism and Dawoodism and all the Prophetism, Ibrahimism. No. One God, one religion, one message, coming gradually till the message is ended. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us levels. There is levels. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make paradise different levels and hellfire 70 devils. Allah make paradise 7 levels. Between each level, what is between earth and heaven? Not this heaven. Once this heaven, this is not heaven. The heaven, the outer atmosphere of the universe. And the hellfire is deep. That when you throw a stone, go down for 70 years. So now, where you find different Islam? Yes, Allah, there is different sect. But did Muhammad alayhi salam, Allah said in Quran, الَّذِينَ فَرَّقُوا دِينَهُمْ وَكَانُوا شِيَعًا. Those people who split their deen and divide their deen and become Shia. And the stupid Shia take it as evidence. This is legitimate to be Shia. So, what the Prophet said, all the sect in hellfire, except who? One sect. Who is that? Al-Ghuraba, the stranger.
Man hum al-Ghuraba? Man.
The Sahaba, the companion asked the Prophet ﷺ, who are those people? He said, whatever me and you doing now at the time. So if you follow Muhammad ﷺ and the companion at the 1442 years ago, you are from the stranger. Even people tell you, oh, you are fundamental. What's mean fundamental?
Fundamentalist. Oh, that's another issue, Omar. Do you believe that only a minority of Muslims are following the interpretation of Islam of the Prophet and the Sahaba?
Yes.
In that case, if that is the case, that actually undermines the existence of Allah and it undermines His intelligence. It undermines the view that.
Man, please don't
of course.
Please don't use rude words because I'm gonna leave. Because there is a verse. If you sit with filth and mocking Allah and His Messenger, you have to leave. Otherwise, you're gonna be like them. This is verse, I think, 140 in Surah An-Nisa, something like that. I can't get it.
Yeah, but Omar, the point
Don't
is...
insult Allah and His intelligence. Allah doesn't have intelligence like human.
Of course, if He exists, He's intelligent.
Don't.
But the point is that if He exists and is intelligent, He also must acknowledge...
He's not man, you silly. He's not man.
I know He's not a man.
So, He exists and doesn't have... He have knowledge. He's the...
He knows that
Listen,
people are
man,
going to understand
listen.
Islam differently.
This who created this? Who made this mobile?
I I don't know.
X person. Can X person know? Can this phone know X person?
Well, no.
Why?
Can the phone? No.
Can the phone knows the name of the one who create,
I don't.
manufacture him?
Maybe with the help of AI, there is some way of
What's AI?
artificial intelligence.
So the phone, the car, that Mercedes knows who create. And I'm giving you a little example because this phone is not like human, because human is body and soul.
Omar,
Please, if you want to continue,
Yeah.
do not mock Allah.
I'm not mocking him.
Why you say he's intelligent? He's not a man. My Allah is beyond your capacity, beyond your brain. Because if you can visualize Allah, he's not Allah.
You can.
Yes. You can describe him with his names and his and attributes.
Sifat.
Yes, but not to say, he's human, he sleep with Mary.
No, I didn't say. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that.
Carry on, carry on.
I'm suggesting
I believe Quran said,
Yeah.
I send you today 25% Quran saying the true believer are little,
What? A few.
are few.
Well, that means that Islam is aimed at a very small minority of people.
Islam?
And therefore, there's no use in the majority of people taking it
I'll
seriously.
tell you why.
Taking it seriously or converting.
The Prophet
because it's not
ﷺ,
going to save you if you have to follow this.
the
one
Prophet
rigid,
ﷺ, okay, let me answer.
if you have to follow one rigid, monolithic
The
interpretation of Islam,
okay, the
then
Prophet,
it's not for you.
The Prophet ﷺ said, he used to say in his speech, ألا إن سلعة الله غالية ألا إن سلعة الله هي الجنة. The goods of Allah is very expensive. The goods of Allah is paradise. Let's compare it with Britain now. If you want to buy a house in Oxford or in the southeast, whatever, Kingston or Windsor, how much it costs you? A dirty house with a sewage, yes, can cost you arm and leg. Do you want a house in paradise where is rivers flowing underneath, no sewage, rivers, honey and milk running under you, the bricks, one gold, one silver, you want to take it, you sit and you fart in your sofa and you get this house? No, you have to sweat. And this is, the price is to sweat, the price is to be committed, the price is to strive in this dunya, the price is to work day and night, like our Prophet. He didn't sit like that. Go ahead.
Okay, Omar. So you're saying it's extremely difficult to achieve the aims and objectives of what Allah has set down for Muslims in the Quran, and in many respects, I would argue that your interpretation of Islam assumes it's impossible for most people to achieve this, and this is contrary to the idea that Allah, there's no compulsion. Allah doesn't compel people to believe, and He doesn't impose what the believer or people in general cannot fulfill. Allah لا يكلف على ما لا يطاق. ما معنى
لا
هذا؟
يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها.
إلا وسعها. Yeah.
لا ما كسبت لها ما كسبت وعليها ما كسبت. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fair. If you crippled, He doesn't ask you to walk. If you're sick, you can't pray in the bed. If there is no water, you don't have to wash yourself. You can make a pollution. Allah doesn't want, if you have little intellect, He doesn't want, He's not wanting to be Isaac Newton. But وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. This deen is very difficult for kafir and very easy to Muslim. Wallahi, today, in my own eyes, I saw a person who's Muslim. I wake up before Fajr and I prayed and I read what I should read, and I had two big azan clock, azan all over the walls, and he didn't pray. I asked him, why you don't pray, man? He said it's difficult. I said I woke up 65 years old, I have my pollution, I prayed, and I'm sure I'm not showing off. I read my Quran, and you should. And this is the different. وإذا الدين, the hour will come. The hour will come. The Prophet said this hadith. وإذا الدين أصبح مغرم وليس مغنم. When the religion become so difficult, yes, and the disbelief, like people disbelieve because worldly life, but we enjoy waking up early, we enjoy praying, yes, we enjoy bowing down, we love it. The American did study that when you make sujood, prostrate, you discharge some bloody, what you call it, some energy. I don't know, man, how come? Wallah al-Azim, but it's your choice, not Allah. Yes, Allah knowledge, no, you are a kafir, but your choice to be kafir. But because Allah, the most knowledgeable, He knows. Like if I invent bicycle, I know this bicycle not gonna fly. If I make washing machine, I know it will never do cooking like a cooker. Allah create you. ألا يعلم من خلق. Allah say in Quran, shock. Doesn't He knows what He creates?
Yeah, He knows.
Doesn't He knows what coming out from His creation? But what coming out of you is your choice, and you gonna, the verse you said, the last part, you're gonna pay for it. Yes? You too.
Well, I still think that the interpretation you're advocating does not support the view that Islam is easy, Islam is practical. The very fact that there are so many different sects amongst Muslims, so many different interpretations of Islam that Omar doesn't accept, I think undermines this view, and it suggests that not Islam in general, but Uncle Omar's Islam is too regimented, is too monolithic, is unaccepting of variety of different interpretations, and ultimately the implication is that even certain nationalities are in Omar's view, are not in Omar's view, but according to Omar's interpretation, certain nationalities, certain people who speak a certain language, Arabic, are at an advantage. It's easier for them to follow the way of the Sahaba, the way of the Sahaba and the Prophet, because they have access to Arabic.
This is wrong. This is so much non-Arab have better understanding than Arabs.
Yes, but however, they've understood it through learning Arabic, through achieving a very high level of Arabic.
This
which
is the tool, man.
This is beyond the capacity of most people.
Why?
They don't have time to learn difficult languages.
Why you have time?
They have.
You are Greek, you speak Turkish, you speak English,
Well,
you speak Russian.
You don't understand. Yeah, I'm of a multilingual background. My mother's family are from Eastern Anatolia and the South Caucasus. I'm part Georgian.
All these,
and Caucasus. We are multilingual by nature, and we have Muslim ancestors.
All these Punjabi people.
Lahda.
I mean, one second. All these Pakistani people and Indian come to this country. They speak Punjabi or Hindi or Sindhi or whatever, and nothing. Even they are farmers. Even they are not educated. They come to this country, speak English. It doesn't take much.
They're living in an English community. They're not living in an Arabic community.
There is a lot of Indian people there. Speak English better than you.
Yes.
That's why they have call center in India.
But let's face it, English and Arabic are poles apart. Arabic is far more difficult to learn, especially considering the fact that there's both the written form of Arabic, classical Fusha, and there are the dialects. which so
Walid.
Arabic is by nature.
Walid.
Literary Arabic is a scholarly language, a language of science, literature, religious scholarship. It's difficult to communicate in the language, even if you've learned Arabic, spent years studying Arabic. So it's beyond the capacity and the time constraints of most people. So that the upshot is that because of the different ethnic groups and languages spoken by the various Muslim
Walid,
communities.
this Pakistan and India in north, they speak fluent Arabic. Here.
Because they spent years studying the language. They've attended Islamic schools. They've learned Arabic.
Can I ask you a question? You said about sect. Is it disadvantage or advantage?
I think sects are largely a product of the different cultures and languages that flourish in the Islamic world. So
Can I answer?
That fuels
Is it-
the different interpretations of Islam.
Is it invention or is it something? Is it something Allah said it in Quran and the Prophet said it, or something come out of the blue?
Well, like Islam itself, Islamic sects have evolved over time, over centuries.
Question.
Yeah.
When the Prophet ﷺ, peace upon him, said Jews divided on 71 sects,
Yes.
Christian 72 sects.
Yes.
My nation
Yes.
will be divided
73.
73 and
only
bid'ah. Another hadith,
Yeah, bid'ah.
bid'ah. Bid'ah, a number between 73, not bad.
Bid'ah.
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 Ba, dad, ain.
Bid'ah.
Bid'ah is a number
certain
between
1 and 3.
3 and 9.
Or 3 and 9. Bid'ah.
So, if he said that, and the nation is divided,
Yeah.
is this something credible to Islam or something disadvantage to Islam? If someone,
Yes.
may Allah be pleased with him, said something, prophecy, 1442 years ago, and now is achieved, is this something to show Islam credible or not credible?
The fact that there are many sects.
The fact that they didn't divide it at the time when the companion will never imagine going to be divided. It used to be one family, one nation, no sect, nothing.
Of course not, because they were a small community of believers in the Hijaz. They were not multilingual, multi-ethnic, multiracial, and they were living in one particular point in history.
What
So
is the
it's-
first sect? What
you
did the first sect came to
You
Islam?
do not need to,
What is the first
you don't
sect?
need to be a prophet to predict that any fledgling religious community
Really?
is going to
So Muhammad is not prophet?
is going to split into many sects. You don't need to be a prophet. Anyone can predict that a newfound religion will evolve into
What did the first
multifarious-
sect? What did the first sect came in Islam?
I'm not sure if there was one particular sect.
No,
Obviously,
one.
You have political groupings
no,
like
no.
Shi'at Ali
The
that
first-
evolved into religious
The
sects.
first sect of Islam is Abdullah ibn Saba. May Allah curse him. This Jew, he tried to divide Muslims when Prophet ﷺ died and split, and he the one originated Shia. So, what is the source of the first sect?
Political division. The source of the early Islamic sects are usually
This is not political.
political
This is not
political
political.
groupings
This is not
which
political.
evolved
This is
into
not
religious.
political. This is not political.
religious
This is
groupings.
financial. This is like who will have the honor to be the leader. This is greed. Greed, like I'm want something, I'm not entitled to it. Ali ibn Abi Talib, radiallahu anhu arda, he's not entitled to be the leader when Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu arda and Omar was alive and Uthman. Anyway, where is the sect coming from? Where is Al-Jibal? Where is Mu'tazila came from?
Mu'tazila.
Yes. Where is Jibaiyya?
These are actually
Yes.
schools of thought that evolved
Yes.
in what was in southern Iraq, which was in the heart of Islamic civilization, and as a result of both internal Islamic dynamics.
What is the original of the people? What the original of the people?
Internal Muslim dynamics, intellectual, cultural, linguistic dynamics, and foreign influences. Greek, philosophical.
What does Sufism came from?
The Tasawwuf, again, it's a combination
Mixing
of
Islam and Greek.
Zuhud, asceticism, Christian asceticism, mysticism.
So if you mix Islam and Christian, are you Muslim?
I think a large portion of Islam, culturally and religiously,
We don't care about.
lahada, culturally and religiously, is the byproduct of the coalescence of different influences, including Greek, but also including ancient Persian, Zoroastrian, even Buddhist. There are even Buddhist influences in Islam, and of course Jewish. I think that's the same. That the same goes for every religion that came out of the Near Middle East and other centers of civilization.
I am going to answer now. The scholar said, شرع ما قبلنا ليس شرعنا إلا ما طابق شرعنا. Whatever in Bible is not, we are not obliged to listen to it unless it's the same of our religion.
يتفق بالله.
يتفق. Like
يتفق بالإسلام.
circumcision in the Torah, we take it. Oh, Israel, your Lord is one, we take it. And so many things.
So wait there, circumcision.
Inshallah,
So,
inshallah, we'll carry on maybe today or maybe later.
You've just pointed to beliefs that are acceptable in Islam, but these very beliefs and practices are beliefs and practices from other Semitic religions.
Semitic religion coming from Ibrahim alayhi salam.
But you've discounted
I didn't-
the legitimacy of non-Semitic influences, Greek, Persian, Indian. What's wrong with that? That's how religions evolve through influences from outside their own linguistic and
We don't
civilizational
consider
bases.
Zoroastrian religion. We don't consider Persian as religion. We don't consider pagans religion. We consider Ibrahim alayhi salam is the father of the prophet, and his monotheism, Millat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and whatever comply with this, we take it. I think Mr. X doesn't want to make it long. We
Okay.
stop here,
But this,
and
this-
next time,
yes.
maybe later today, or you have the talk, and
Okay, but this dovetails into another topic which is related to that, which is the view that Islam, because of these views you've advocated, is by its very nature a religion for Arabic people, for
You are
Arabic
wrong.
speakers. Well, that's just
did you
the
read
topic.
Quran?
طبعاً.
Allah said in Quran to the Arabs, وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا Surah Muhammad alayhi salam.
أيوة.
I think 31 or something like that. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُ أَمْثَالَكُمْ. He telling the Arabs, listen you lazy, listen you bloody useless. Yes, Quran came in Arabic. Yes, Muhammad alayhi salam is Arab. But if you turn away, I'm going to replace you with some different tribe, different people, not Arab. They not gonna be like you, but gonna better than you.
يمكن ترك، يمكن تكون أتراك.
I love it.
Anyone.
The Turk, I love the Turk. And I ask every Muslim to go behind the Turk. Go Turkey. Buy houses there. Buy Turkish good. Turkey coming. The Ottoman is coming. Sultan Muhammad al-Fatih coming. Sultan Salim al-Qanuni coming.
With who? Who brings the Adnan?
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Erdogan.
Inshallah, it's better to collide with Turkey than Saudi, because Saudi now they manufacture
Turkey
bulletproof, fireproof underwear.
Turkey no good.
Turkey, they do their own aeroplane, helicopter, submarines, hospital, and this is, if you don't, the verse in Quran, if you don't acquire the mean of power, you're gonna be run. There's no peace unless you are strong. Turkey is a Muslim country. There's a lot of Muslim people in Turkey, more than Morocco, more than Egypt, more than Syria. But you seen the bad side of Turkey.
Omar.
Enough proud for Turkey to have the Islamic State 500 years.
A lot of these Turks are of Islamized Greek,
I
Armenian,
don't believe
and Georgian
Turkey
origin.
I
So
don't
by implication, because of these different origins, Greek, Anatolian Greek, Armenian, Georgian, Turkish Islam is itself has evolved under foreign influences, non-Muslim influences, and this also contradicts the central, one of the central ideas that the Quran was revealed in Arabic to an Arabic-speaking people. What is it?
إنا قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تفقهون. Okay, let me answer. This guy said Quran is racist. Imagine brother.
No, I'm not saying
imagine Quran revealed in Arabia and Germany.
No, Quran not for
I didn't
Arab,
say it's
for all the
racist.
world.
Your interpretation.
Imagine Quran revealed in Arabia in English language. So Quran revealed every Bible, every book revealed in the Prophet language.
Absolutely.
So when the Bible revealed in Aramaic to Jesus, peace upon him, is normal. When the Torah revealed in Hebrew or whatever Semitic language, is normal. But can I translate English to Arabic or Arabic to English? Yes.
But Omar, I'm not.
Can I speak Arabic without being Arab? Yes.
I'm not suggesting it's racist. I'm saying that your views ultimately lead to an emphasis on the Arabicness of the Quran and Islam, because you can't be a proper Muslim and follow the way of the Sahaba
No,
and
you
the
can't,
Prophet
you can't.
without having a
You
good
can't.
knowledge of Arabic.
No, you can't. I met a lot of non-Arab Asians. They have the proper view, and you don't speak. I'm gonna make one point. Imam al-Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi said, if you want to know that the people of truth, follow the arrow of the kafir, follow the spears of the kafir, where they are heading. They are not heading to Ali Dara or Sheikh Tarawni the donkey or Muhammad Hijab. Ibn Muflih, one of the great scholars, said, if you want to know the true believer, don't look how much the mosques are crowded and how much people Hajj, but see how they are tough on the tyrant, how they are tough في مواجهة الظالمين, how they are facing the tyrant, how they are facing the unjust. And we believe by the blessing of Allah, Allah choose us to stand against the tyrant and to support the poor and the needy. And we are supported from Allah the Almighty. And whatever I said good is from the blessing of Allah. And whatever I got it wrong from myself. Nice talking to you, Walid. Inshallah, we'll have round 3. Thank you for coming. And take care, eh? And please, don't doubt. Don't doubt Allah existence. Otherwise, you stop your heart, man. He run your heart when you sleep. He provide oxygen 24/7 free. Nobody can give you fuel 24 hours 7 free.
This is another debate, Omar, but we can have that.
Inshallah. Nice talking to you, man. Thanks a lot. Nice seeing you, man. And take care, yeah?